Good morning, folks. Yep, there's me and my caffeine. Let me see if I can get this set up here. This is going to be a video for new people to activating on logging. Let's see if we can say this where it really makes sense to all of you who have the questions. Which logging program? What do I use? Which device do I use? If you're new to logging, this is just an opinion. Now, I have some experience along with NC4XL, and there's many other operators that all have their own and unique way of logging in PileUPS. What is a PileUp? If you've never activated or you're just starting to activate and you're trying to figure out how to work the system of PileUPS, there's several different ways. This again, please do not be offended. I'm not supporting any particular program or manufacturer of logging software. I'll share what I use, I'll share what I don't use, and I might even share some reasons why. But the thing that I want you to understand is, if you're new to activating, PileUPS are very overwhelming and intimidating. When you have, and we're going to use for numbers only, 100 people all keyed up at the same time on the same frequency you're at, you're going to hear just a couple. You'll hear a rumbling and roaring and trying to figure out which part do I pick up and what did I hear. And if you got a device, and here's where we're starting out. If you have a device, you're trying to type it in and you're getting partial calls and it ain't working because nothing. Let's back up the video. This is what I would like to offer you as a suggestion only. If you're going out to your first activation, first of all, let people know it's your first activation. Don't be shy, don't be bashful. Just tell people, hey, slow down. Take you some paper, take you some pencils. If it's cold out, ink doesn't do well when it's cold. Besides, trying to write with an ink pen or a pencil with gloves on makes it difficult, or when you're cramped in a car. See, now we're adding the things that get in the way of doing the logging. So like I said, we'll go back. If you're new, seriously, log it on paper, put it on paper, and then go home and log it on your program or your device that you have with you. But if you're new and these PileUPS come at you and you're not ready, you're going to get scared, and you don't need to get scared. It's just manage the PileUp until you're experienced enough where you can utilize your device and understand. The easiest way to share it with you is watch a lot of folks on YouTube. Listen to the ones that will have contacts and they're sharing with you, making a contact, typing it in, doing the exchange, QRZ, go to the next, type it in, go to the next, etc. Now, I guess I don't know what I'm doing because I do it different. Regardless, I'm not going to take a device that's going to have a battery failure. I'm going to spill coffee on it. It falls on the ground and cracks the screen. There's too many variables out there, so pencil and paper works great. If I spill coffee on the paper, I still can read the paper after it dries. On that paper and pencil logging, what I'm suggesting is really, please understand, this is just a suggestion. This is just one way of many. But write down what you hear. If you hear 16 calls and you got 16 parts, you can go back to 16 people. And you can fill in the blanks. It's like a crossword puzzle. A couple more letters and you have the word. Same thing, a couple more letters and you have the call sign. Now, I'll say that again. When you're running your PileUPS, you pick out the strongest signals that you hear, generally speaking. Me, I'll share how I do it here in a moment. Write down what you hear on a piece of paper down in order, and then you can go back in, all right, station with a kilo in the call. Station with Kilo Oscar 4 only. Station that was QRP. QRP only. And suggest to the people on the other end, only QRP. Don't get aggravated, don't get angry, because sometimes they don't hear you very well. They want you to hear them, so they crank 1,000 watts on so that they can be first. Write down what you hear and then fill in the blanks and continue right in order. Boom, 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 boom. Time element. Now, you can't do all that with a device or a laptop. Or if you can, I have not seen somebody professionally do it. We're able to store so many contacts and go backwards. And that's my suggestion. Do it on paper until you're comfortable with working the PileUPS. Then if you want to go to a device and try it out and see what you think, let me share why I do it with paper and pencil. Myself, I'm not worried that it says Joe just contacted you from Arizona. I'm worried that I got your call sign right and that I'm able to make the contact with you. And I'm not in a contest, but I would like to make as many contacts as I can while I'm at this park, while I'm operating at this time, before the band changes again. And it will. It'll right in the middle of a QSO, it'll drop. You can't predict that. None of us can. But having it on paper, if you made an error or you're questionable, you can make a little note, a question mark, an asterisk, a double line, whatever symbol that you put down that you need to double check that call sign. Because you might have busted it. And it's going to happen. You're going to bust calls. That's a term used when you think you got the call right. You thought you heard it right and you wrote it wrong. Or you only got part of it, not all of it. It's going to happen a lot with your DX contacts, 6Y5. I mean, you're new. You're not going to run like those that are experienced and been doing it for 2, 3, 4 years. Okay? So don't try to. And you don't have to. As you get more experienced, you will learn how you, not me, you operate and how you want to do it. If you're going out for a normal day, and I'll just use the word normal, where you just make the contacts, you log them in your laptop or your device on your phone or whatever, and you take 1 or 2 at a time, however you work it, time is one of the things that you're looking at. Me, I guess I'm a conceited old man because I like to make as many contacts as I can while I have the time. Now, this is NC4XL's way. This is not KN4XP's way. We're 2 different operators, and we've operated for 20 years together. We've recorded them driving down the road, putting out counties and so forth. We have done several different methods of logging. First is last, last is first. When I start, I'll take the QRZ. Boom, I start writing down what I hear. And when I've heard the tail end, or I stop it at the end and say, okay, and I'll work backwards. That's me. That's not nobody else. You don't have to. That's me. But I work backwards and fill in the calls, and I continue on. And when I'm done, I do it again. Now, opinion, mine only. I can work more contacts that way, not waiting on a device to catch up, because that's how NC4XL and KN4XP work. We work to get as many contacts in, and again, it's not a contest, but that we can put in the log. As simple as that. That's how I do it. I use pencil and paper. I go home. Yeah, I put a little bit more time, and I'm not traveling with family, and that's why we're all different. You have to determine what works for you. Take this as a suggestion only. It's not written in stone. I use N3FJP's program. Why? For the amount of money I spend on it, I get everything in all the different contests, and it's already set up. We have an excellent guru, Matt here, M-A-T-T-H-E-E-R-E. Look up his YouTube video, folks. If you use the N3FJP program, he will walk you through it on his video. An outstanding POTA administrative educational teacher. You've got to really stop and listen if you use that program, because he will walk you through it and he will make you feel comfortable using it. We have a lot of assets within POTA. A lot of the administration behind the scenes that are creating things. Check your app constantly for awards, because you never know when you're going to get an award for working somebody 20 times in the same park, or operator to operator, or there's such a variable. But this video here is about logging. How I log. It's one way, not the only way. There is many ways. Watch the videos. See people logging in their car. See them taking one at a time. See how much time. It all depends on what you're looking for. If you want 150, 200 contacts, it can be done easily. It can be done. My way's my way. Your way is your way. You determine, watching other videos and listening to other operators, how they handle PileUPS and things like that, and you create your way. I want to thank you for taking the time. My coffee's getting cold, but that's fine, because you folks out there on the other side that are wanting to become activators, we need you. It's nice to see when you have 100 activators on at one time on the spotting page, whether it's CW, SSB, FT8, FT4. It's fantastic. Amateur radio has grown so much, and POTA has instilled a lot of people to jump and get up off the chair and have some fun again. If you like what you see, try it out. If you don't like what you see, I understand. We're all different. This is November Charlie 4 X-Ray Lima, North Carolina for extreme lovers, and that I'm not. This is just Dom, the darling old man in North Carolina. Y'all have a blessed day until we meet again.